I haven't been uploading videos because I've been pretty busy. I've been uploading videos on every single match that I watch, and I feel like it's taking a toll on me. It's pretty hard, and I feel like since there's so many matches out there right now, I should just probably compile them together and just put them into one video and just give my opinion on each one. That's what I think I should do, and that's probably what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna talk about the USA France game, about the Chile Colombia game, and about what's the other game? About Argentina Venezuela. And I'm gonna start with the USA France game. For me, it was a pretty tight game. It was an enticing game. I know a lot of people wanted to see this game. I know a lot of people had USA winning it because they're the champs right now. They have the title. France is the host. They're looking like a strong team. I thought they were gonna be strong, and I don't know. I don't know what happened because I know USA won 2-1, but I don't know. I felt like it was super dominating over the French women. I feel like the French women just got one in the end, and they got that one that helped them make the score look not as bad. But for me, in all aspects of the game, I saw the Americans just control the game way better. I know Megan Rapinoe got the goal super early. I think it was like in the first 10 minutes of the game, even less than that maybe. I'm not too sure. But I saw that she just made it off a free kick where um she just kicked it in super low, looking for a teammate and just for bodies, someone to like just move the trajectory of the ball into the net and just move it from the goalie, and literally no one touched it, and it just went to the far post. So this is a pretty lame goal in my opinion. The defender should have been more awake. They're more ready to defend, to block the other player, but no one was actually paying attention to the ball, so the ball just literally just went in by itself. That's literally what happened, and Rapinoe put USA up early in the game. France already had that pressure of trying to just started losing off the bat, and that's not good pressure. You're at home. The people want you to win, but already losing so soon in the match is not really that good. And that's basically what was happening. The USA was up. They were calm. They knew that this was basically like a final before the actual final. Meaning like this, people probably thought this was going to be the final. But it happened in the quarters because of the way the bracket was made. But I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I remember my dad saying that they should have made the bracket where France was on one side and USA was on the other, and then they face each other in the final, which would have been a way better match. But, I mean, it's better. I feel like if you can beat them now and you can get that out of the way, by the time you get to the final, it's going to be super easy, and it might be more entertaining because some lower teams in France might actually get up there. Or who knows? I have no idea. There was games today. I didn't watch them, so I'm probably not going to talk about them. But I watched this one, so I'm going to talk about this one. And I just saw more dominance by the American women than the French women. Like I said, they were losing way early in the match. The midfield kind of was really controlled by the French. I saw that, at least. They did have some elements going forward, but I feel like in the final third, where they have to be clinical, where you have to create a chance to shoot on goal, where you have to find a way to make your team go forward, or give that final pass, that final through ball, that, I don't know, that cross, whatever, to try to get a point or get a goal. It never really happened until like the very end when Renard actually got one back for France, but by that point USA already had two. And in the second half, like, I saw them, they were trying, they had a lot of shots on target, but none of them were actually going on goal. So I don't know, the response for me, it was pretty quick. I mean, I felt like it should have happened in the first half, right after the goal that they conceded. They should have been looking for that goal to tie the game and at least leave the first half tied, so that in the second half they can relax and look for the next the next goal, but it didn't happen that way. France didn't really know how to manage the game. They're not used to losing. They're not used to being on the losing end so quick, especially so quick in the match. And USA handled the game well. You know, their experience, their champions, the women that play on the American team seem more physically fit at the same time as well than the French women. I saw one of the battles that was going on on one of the wings where Crystal Dunn was I think the left back, and then the Deanna, I think is her name. I don't know the other right back, not right back, but right wing player or right forward of the French team was going against her, and she could not get past her at all. And I've seen her against a lot of different other teams, and she was getting past them so easily with just speed. But as she confronted someone that was equally on speed, if not more, I think it was even more. Crystal Dunn has way more speed than her. And each time she did get one on her, she did change positions. She did switch, whatever. She either cut in or something. Crystal Dunn recovered super fast and was able to, to take the ball, to push her, to make her uncomfortable. And those are the little things that you don't see. I was watching it the whole time, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of work, you know? And it was just those type of encounters that I saw that just took USA way over the French women. I think the French women actually won in the midfield. Probably they had the ball more, probably had more possession, and that's why they were going somewhere. But USA knew that even if they didn't have the ball, they knew that once they got the ball, they had to make it count. So basically, I think the second goal came on some type of counter where I think somebody whipped it in, and then so someone in the middle just left it. I think it was Alex Morgan, just let it go through her, and Megan Rapinoe was coming in on the left, and she just literally just hit that first time and in the goal. And like that's what you need. You need veteran players. You need them to perform, and you just need them to do what they need to do. We'll see what happens to them in their next match, and I wish that USA wins now. I've been rooting for them because I know their quality, but yeah, that's what I want. And then Argentina also took on Venezuela during the same exact time. Like both games were at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and literally I had like one eye on my phone and the other one was on the TV. Both games were kind of sluggish, kind of. Well, I don't think the women's was. The women's was more competitive, in my opinion. I actually saw more of the women's game than the Argentina game. For me, for sure, I thought Argentina was gonna beat Venezuela. Um, the same thing like that happened in the women's game. Argentina was winning a goal up. They were a goal up literally in the first 10 minutes of the match. I think it was from some type of corner or some type of action where Kun Agüero hit her outside the box, and then as it was coming in, Lautaro Martinez just literally healed it or back healed it or just put a foot on it to move its path and just change the trajectory of the ball where the goalie didn't expect that, and then goal. And that's what I'm seeing you had to do in these games. You had to get that early goal because, I don't know, not that I haven't seen that much of Copa America, but what I've been seeing now is like seeing how Colombia lost and then seeing how Uruguay lost today. It's like, wow. It's like these teams that barely had any quality are beating these good teams, but it's because they just know how to manage a game. And Argentina coming into this, like these knockout rounds, they didn't really look strong. They really looked bad. But I guess the experience, or I don't know, the perseverance of them going into these matches, looking for the result early on, has actually been working for them. Not saying that Messi's not showing up. He's not as present as people would want him to be. But, I mean, his team is starting to show up. The manager also as well has found the starting lineup that suits best the team, that the team performs better. He put like Foyt at right back. He plays in Tottenham. He barely plays in Tottenham, but it gives them height. It gives them probably more speed. He's way more defensive minded than attack minded, so the defense looks sharper as well, and it just cuts attacks off the right, and as well they had Acuna in the midfield, making the midfield look more stable, and as well giving it a little bit more fluidity, like getting the ball transition from the defense to offense to the opponent's half of the field. It's looking better than when Lo Celso was in the team. And Lo Celso did come into this match, and I know he did score, and he scored like basically off a rebound. Also from Kun Agüero. Kun Agüero, I think he had another shot from outside the box as well, or he got like a through ball, and he kicked it first time, and the goalie basically hit it, but the goalie didn't try to grasp the ball or try to get the ball in his hands to keep. He just tried to block the shot, and as he blocked it, the ball just literally kept on rolling and rolled to a side. And Lo Celso was also there, waiting if Kun Agüero either gave the pass or whatever. And since Kun Agüero hit the ball, he wasn't offside because he was waiting with him on the same line. And as he hit the ball, he just kept on running. He didn't grasp the ball. The ball stayed right there, and he just literally just knocked it in home. Easy goal. But it's just because of being attentive and just being alert, being in the play, and not being focusing on other things. And the Argentinian team is starting to look better. I don't think they'll probably beat Brazilian team. They go against Brazil. That's like a classic of football, a clásico. It's going to be a great match. I know a lot of people are going to watch it. It's going to be a lot of quality. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Brazil is going to like golear. They're just going to score like 4+ goals on Argentina because they're doing really bad in this competition. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe they might get their stuff together and they might start actually playing right. We know they should. And Messi might actually show up in that match way more than he has in these past 2 or past 3, basically. Because he's only scored a goal, but a goal off a penalty. But his teammates are starting to look better. There's not that much fluidity in the passes. There's a lot of lost balls in the midfield. The team can't really get like 2 to 3 passes. And against the Brazilian team as well, I don't rate them as much as like a normal Brazilian team. They are good, but not to the extent of like past Brazilian teams. They're not. Basically, what I want to say is like right now is like a transitioning period between a lot of these teams. Argentina team as well. They were doing good in a lot of instances. They have been to a lot of finals. They've been to the last 2 Copa America finals, as well as 1 World Cup final. And most of those players their quality's gone really down, as well as they're putting in new blood. They have youngsters in the squad. And the same thing with Brazil. Brazil's been transitioning as well. And they don't look like the Joga Bonito. They don't look like the type of style of play you associate with Brazil. It's not the Brazilian team that won 5 World Cups, things like that. It's just, I don't know. Teams literally close themselves off in the back. They literally park the bus. And you would say, but that's hard to score against teams like that. But seeing the quality of the team either side possesses, you would think they would win, because just look at Argentina. They have Lautaro Martinez. He plays in Inter Milan. Messi, best player in the world. He plays for Barcelona. Kun Agüero, Man City. Otamendi, Man City. Lo Celso came off a good season with Betis. He was in PSG. Paredes was in PSG. Foyt plays in Tottenham. There's a bunch of players in Tagliafico. He's been trending because of the Ajax team. He's been in that youthful Ajax team. But that's what I mean. There's been a lot of hype on these players, and they hype them up, especially nowadays, more than back then. And the quality, the substance is not there. That's what I gotta say. That's especially happening in Brazil as well, because Brazil, you look at their team as well, and even though Neymar's not there, they're all in these top clubs in Europe, and you would expect them to win these games easily. You have Coutinho in Barcelona, Arthur in Barcelona, Firmino, Liverpool, Champions League winner right now, Allison as well, Champions League winner. Thiago Silva, PSG. Marquinhos, PSG. I don't know. Felipe Luis, Atletico Madrid. Everywhere, every single position that Brazil has a player in, they have them in the top league in Europe, and you would expect them to be winning these games easily. Is what I'm saying. And I know that both of the teams are struggling, in my opinion. Brazil, not as much. They look way more solid in defense, and they actually can put some passes together. It's not as fluid. It's not as beautiful as like you would think it would be. It has to be with like when you associate Brazilian soccer with themselves, with like their old selves. But yeah, I see them getting through, and I see them getting to the final. They're at home. This competition is in their house. It's in Brazil. The Copa America's in Brazil, and maybe they may actually win it. Who knows? But yeah, I don't really see Argentina going through them, but I wish they do because I'm rooting for Messi. I want him to be happy, but we'll see what happens. It's not for certain yet. And then I just had to talk about the last match. The last match was on Friday. It was between Colombia and Chile. And this was the more enticing match for me, in my opinion, out of like the three that I saw. Because the quality was basically, I feel like it's the same. It's all subjective. It's all perception. But, I mean, I didn't watch all the game. I mostly just saw the first half. And from what I saw a Chilean team really trying to look for the game. They looked like they did struggle at first. They were causing a lot of fouls, really trying to break up the midfield of the Colombians. I felt like the Colombians also, I don't know if the moment got to them or the moment was too overwhelming where they couldn't connect their passes together. They couldn't get the passes to the forwards. The only guy with vision that looked like he could make that pass or that pass that was dangerous was James. And he was barely in the game as well. I don't know. Not saying that the stats, or not the stats, but like the team was set up wrong. But for me, there had to be a different type of player, I feel, as a forward, because there were some passes that did get through to the forwards. But the main man, the striker, the number 9, the one you look for when you want a goal, Colombia's was Radamel Falcao. He's past his prime. He's like 33 years old. I know he's the captain of the team, and I know you have to respect him, but that's what I'm saying. When your own captain is not showing out, he's not performing, he's not yelling at you, I mean, it doesn't give you the confidence you need to win these type of matches. And I'm not so sure who the Chilean captain is, but these guys, I don't know. Most of them play like in Mexico. And not saying anything bad about Mexico, but the Mexico League is nowhere close to the leagues in Europe. And the only people playing in Europe are Alexis and Vidal. And not even they're playing in their leagues. Like, they get probably half the time. Alexis come off like maybe his worst season in Europe. Only scoring like 3 goals and having so few minutes. But these guys, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just being back home, if it's putting on their national team jersey or whatever, singing the national anthem. But when they go out and they start playing for their national team, these guys are different. They be looking world class. And that's what I mean. These guys, they show up. They might suck with their clubs, but when it comes to representing their country, they're out there, they're running, they're all attacking, they're all defending. It's crazy. Like, I've said it before in different videos of their style of play, and you can see it in these games. And their experience as well has been triumphant. They've already won this competition twice. They won back-to-back Copa Americas, and sometimes we underrate it. We always talk about how Messi's failed, but we never look at how just brilliant Chile has been. And I underrated it as well because during that time as well, most of their players were still in Europe, and they were playing in the European leagues. Not in top teams, but at least in decent teams. And now a lot of them play in Mexico and they play in other places. They don't play in these good teams anymore, It's only Alexis and Vidal. But they still show out, and that's what impresses me. And I kind of underrated them in my predictions. I didn't expect them to get this far. I did expect them to go against, I don't remember who. I think I had them going against Brazil in my prediction. And I felt like if they probably did face Brazil, they would have lost. But Colombia, for me, I thought they were going to be in the semifinal. I guess not. Um, Today, Peru also beat Uruguay, and that's another shocker for me. And I don't know if it's just me not knowing how to pick games or me just being really bad at predictions, but yeah, this is what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't happen. And sometimes you just got to rate the heart of these players, rate the tactics of the managers, and just you can just see who wants it more, you know? Sometimes some players either, I don't know if it's their egos, if it's just them thinking that they're better than the others, if they just don't want to show up in these games, or if they just expect something easy. Um, they're they're being taught a lesson. I don't know. I hope they are being taught a lesson, and I hope that managers also put the best team they can out there. Because for me, Colombia has a really great number 9, a great forward. His name is Juan Zapata. I've been saying this in other videos. He's been scoring. He scored like 23 goals in the Italian league. He got number 3. Or was number 2, second overall best scorer in the league. He was above Cristiano Ronaldo and Falcao. I know he has his history, but he doesn't look as sharp as he did when I was in high school. That's when he was in his prime, when I was in high school. I just finished college. And that's what I got to say. I know the guy has history. I know the people respect him. But you got to be putting out your best team. And that's what I feel like that's what cost them. Because look at them. Like the Chilean players, they're not that tall. Duvan Zapata would have been like 6'2", 6'3". You whip in one good header, one good cross, and that guy's going to get a head on that. And no one's going to beat him to it. So that's what I mean. If you just had these imposing players in the team, and him also running would just been super hard for the Chilean players to defend. But that's just my opinion, you know. Everybody has their own opinion. That's what I felt Colombia should have did. I was saying it throughout the whole competition. I felt like he should have been starting. But, I mean, I don't know. It's all subjective, like I said. And that's just what I thought about the matches. There was a lot of them. I'm probably going to keep watching the ones of today, Saturday. These are all the ones that happened on Friday. And I'll just keep y'all posted. Like the video. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to the channel. And just keep on watching.